After July's repeated flash flood emergencies, a wet basement can make every dark mark look like stormwater. But heavy rain does not prove the path. The same damp smell, stain, puddle, or clammy surface can come from exterior rain or groundwater, a plumbing or equipment leak, humid air condensing on a cold surface, or moisture moving through soil and foundation materials. Before buying waterproofing or a stronger dehumidifier, identify which path is active, because each one needs a different control. Begin with location and timing. Mark exactly where the first wet edge appears, not only where water eventually collects. Note whether it follows heavy rain, a long humid spell, laundry, air conditioning, a plumbing fixture, or equipment operation. Watch whether the area dries completely between events. A single clue can narrow the next question, but it rarely proves the answer. A white deposit, dark stain, musty odor, or wet wall floor joint can have more than one explanation, so treat each observation as evidence to test against the pattern. For exterior water, start outside while conditions are safe. Follow the roof runoff to the gutter, downspout, discharge point, and slope of the soil. Water spilling over a gutter, leaving a short downspout beside the wall, or flowing across grade toward the house can increase pressure on a below-grade foundation. Inside, rain-correlated wetting near a penetration or at the wall floor joint supports that question. It still does not prove the exact crack or drainage failure. The useful connection is repeated timing between an exterior water event and the same interior location. Water can also approach from the soil side even when the roof drainage looks ordinary. Below-grade walls and slabs sit beside soil that changes with weather and local groundwater. Moisture may move as liquid through an opening, or as vapor and capillary moisture through some materials and joints. A stain by itself cannot tell you which mechanism is dominant. Look for height, edge shape, direction of spread, rain delay, and whether several wall bays behave the same way. Structural movement, widening cracks, or repeated flooding belongs with a qualified foundation or water management professional. A plumbing or equipment source usually asks a different set of questions. Is the wet area tightly localized near a supply pipe, drain, valve, water heater, appliance, sump discharge, or HVAC condensate route? Does it stay wet during dry weather? Does it change when that equipment operates? These are safe observational questions, not instructions to open panels or repair a system. Water can travel along a pipe, wire, joist, or floor slope before it becomes visible, so the first puddle may not sit directly below the source. Keep electrical clearances and service boundaries intact. Condensation can imitate a leak. Warm, humid air carries water vapor. When that air touches a surface at or below its dew point, droplets can form on a cold pipe, cool foundation wall, duct, tank, or floor. If one cold pipe is sweating while a nearby warmer surface stays dry, condensation becomes a stronger question. If wetting appears only during rain at a joint, exterior water becomes stronger. Neither clue is absolute. Indoor humidity, air temperature, and a safely measured surface temperature help separate the mechanisms without declaring a diagnosis from appearance alone. This is where a dehumidifier has a clear but limited job. It can remove moisture from the air, lower relative humidity, and reduce condensation risk when humid air is the active path. It cannot close a foundation opening, extend a downspout, repair a drain, stop groundwater, or fix a plumbing leak. A full bucket proves that the machine collected water from the air. It does not prove that airborne humidity was the only source. If the same wall floor joint becomes wet after every storm, the liquid water path still needs its own investigation. A simple evidence log can prevent weeks of guessing. Sketch the basement and assign each observation a location. Record the date, recent weather, indoor temperature and humidity, safe surface temperature when available, equipment use, and whether the mark appeared, spread, or dried. Take consistent photos from the same angle without showing private information. Do not invent precision from a cheap instrument. Look for repeatable relationships. 3 clearly documented events can be more useful than one dramatic inspection after everything has mixed together and flowed toward the floor drain. While the source is being identified, protect people and materials without creating a new hazard. Move dry contents away from the affected area when the route is safe. Do not enter standing water when electrical equipment, wiring, receptacles, or unknown contamination may be involved. Do not energize, open, or touch wet equipment. Wet porous materials need prompt attention, and EPA guidance generally recommends drying wet materials within 24 to 48 hours when safe and practical. Drying is not complete source control. The active water or moisture path must also be corrected. Some conditions are beyond a homeowner observation plan. Sewage, extensive visible mold, repeated flooding, water near electricity, suspected structural movement, or a source that cannot be safely reached. Calls for qualified help. A contractor should be asked to identify the path and show the evidence, not only sell a favorite product. One company may specialize in drainage, another in plumbing, another in HVAC, and another in structural work. The diagnosis should explain why the proposed control matches the timing, location, and physical route you documented. Humidity still matters. EPA guidance recommends keeping indoor relative humidity below 60% and ideally around 30 to 50% when practical. That is a general moisture control target, not a promise that one number will solve every basement in every climate. A basement can have acceptable air humidity and still receive liquid water during a storm. It can also stay dry during rain and condense moisture during humid weather. Use the humidity reading as one part of the source map alongside weather, surface conditions, and the exact place where wetting begins. The decision sequence is simple. Identify the source family, trace the physical path, choose a control that interrupts that path, and verify the result through another comparable event. Do not let a stain choose the repair by itself. And keep one separate issue separate. Radon can enter through soil and foundation openings, but it cannot be seen or smelled. And moisture clues do not establish its level. Testing is the way to know. The next system to examine is that separate soil gas pathway and how to test the lowest occupied level correctly. For a connected episode already available, watch why a better HVAC filter can reduce airflow,